All right, so now I have a single prong. Oh, you can see that, but I got a single prong hook. I went from a triple prong hook to a single prong hook. Hey, it's Greg here with Outdoors on the Cheap, and I'm going to do a video here talking about a way to modify the Panther Martin Spinner. I'm not getting any money from these guys, but for those people that are avid trout anglers, many people find this particular spinner to be reliable. I always have, especially if you don't have any bait. I mean, there's different designs, different types. I like this one here. It's got. Let me take it out of the package here. The main problem with this spinner, it's a great spinner in terms of like its ability to attract fish, catch you fish. And you don't even need any bait on it sometimes. But it's got this 3-prong hook on it, and you tend to lose it on bottom. It's just like, and they're not cheap, right? One of these spinners costs, and they're just about impossible to get out of the packaging. Good God. So one of these costs about almost $8. I'm in Canada, that's $8 Canadian, right? So one of these costs $8 Canadian. I like this particular one. It's shiny, and I like the one with the feather on the bottom. It's a red and yellow feather at the bottom. For me, if I'm out somewhere and I'm spin fishing as opposed to fly fishing, I don't have any bait of any kind, and bait to me is like, actual food, not plastic stuff. This will pull trout out of a river or a lake without anything on it. They're drawn to it. I mean, I can't speak to every single situation, but if I'm somewhere and I don't have any bait and I'm spin fishing, this is my go-to spinner. But these are not cheap. This one here was almost $8. It was actually $8 after tax. And it's got this 3-prong hook right here. And if that thing gets anywhere near a sunken log or anything like that, it's gone. You never get it back. So, if you're gonna go do a lot of fishing in a given fishing season, you gotta buy like half a dozen of these, and you'll probably lose 5 of them. You'll lose them. So that's a pain. So an easy fix is simply to remove the 3-prong hook. Or that is to say, remove the prong. You still want to have that feather and all that stuff. It's very, the spinner is not really set up or amenable to removing that hook. It's sort of on there. You can't really take it off. I mean, there's ways you can take it off, but you have to get pretty sophisticated. And you want that nice feathered fly that's on there anyway. So the way around that is to just remove, get the fur out of the way. Let me bring the camera in a little bit and show you here. Yeah, so the solution is just to remove the prongs. There's different sizes. This is one of the larger sizes. I just find it casts further. So I'll try these pliers. These are just like cheap throwaway dollar store pliers, right? So you wouldn't use your good pliers for this, but So I get it in there as far as you can and just buckle onto it and see what you can do. Wiggle it a little bit. There we go. There's one prong right there. So just by clamping onto the hook really close to the shaft, okay, so I'm clamping onto the hook. I don't know how well you can see that, but as close to the shaft. Let me see if I can get that in the frame properly. The pliers are clamped to the hook as close to the shaft as I can get it, okay, and as far up the pliers as I can. Okay, I mean, the further towards the back of the pliers you are, the more power. I mean, the closer to the tip you are, the less power you have. The closer to the back of the power the pliers, the more power you're applying to what you're trying to cut. But it's still, the pliers aren't strong enough to break through, right? So I'm just squeezing as hard as I can, right, and just wiggling a little bit. So I'm, weakening it a little bit. Right, another squeeze, another little wiggle. You just got to work at it a bit. This one doesn't seem to want to come off as readily as the other one, but I'll just change the position of the plier there. I mean, that's it. There we go. Off we go. All right. So now I have a single prong. I don't know how well you can see that, but I got a single prong hook. I went from a triple prong hook to a single prong hook. Right? So some might argue it's not going to hook up as well, but it will. I mean, the fish is going to hit this part of it. This is the fishiest, flippiest, finniest looking part of this. It's going to be drawn to it by the shine, but it's going to hit the fur part. It's going to get hooked. But the great thing about this is you are, before you had a 3 in 3 chance of hooking onto a log if this thing got near a sunken log. Now you've got a 1 in 3 chance in a sense, right? It's just way less likely to get stuck on the bottom. So there you have it. Really simple mod for the Panther Martin Spinner, regardless of what style you like. I like this particular one. Really the only main advantage for me of this spinner having a 3-prong hook is that you're more likely to lose them and you're going to buy more. Okay? So it's not an advantage for you, it's an advantage for the company that makes them. I mean, sure, I suppose there's a slightly better probability of hooking up with the fish, yes. But really, if the fish wants this thing that's going to hit it hard, you're going to hook up. Right? If you're fly fishing, you've only got 1 prong, right? There's all kinds of spinning lures that only have 1 prong. So, I mean, if the fish hits your lure and it's interested in your lure and hits it hard, you're going to hook up with a single prong. The only real advantage of having a triple prong hook, aside from being able to jig fish, is that it's going to get stuck on the bottom. You're going to lose it and you're going to have to buy more. If you use this approach, if you're going to, burn your money on an expensive lure like this, these are like $8. I buy 1 or 2 a year because I believe in them. And I always have them in my tackle box if I'm spin fishing, because if nothing's working, I'll put one of these on. And if this doesn't work, I go home, right? But if you're going to spend your money on one of these, you want to do everything you can to reduce the risk of it being stuck on the bottom. This thing gets hooked on the bottom, it's never coming off. And when you're trout fishing, you're not using heavy pound tests. You're using 10-pound test, 8-pound test, 6-pound test, 4-pound test. You're using something very fine. If this thing gets stuck on the bottom, you're never going to see it again. There goes $8. You don't want to have to buy 5 of these to go fishing, right? You want to buy a couple and hopefully you don't lose them. With 1 prong, you're less likely to lose them. So I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell if you want to be notified when I make a new video. And until next time, enjoy the outdoors on the cheap. Thanks for watching.